Hey folks, in this video we're going to start Experience 9, Chapter 9, in which we're going to talk about a new procedure called a hypothesis test. This is sort of the climax of our course, what we've been working for this whole time. A hypothesis test it's a formalized procedure to estimating a population parameter. The general idea of a hypothesis test, they come in different flavors, but the general idea is, well, there's a hypothesis, and that hypothesis is about a parameter. The parameter usually is about the population mean or the population proportion. For us, we're mostly going to focus on the population proportion. Then we need to assess the credibility of that hypothesis. And so data needs to be collected, and we need to analyze that sample data. You might even call it evidence, to see if that data provides sufficient support for that hypothesis. Then, once we have analyzed the data to see if it supports that hypothesis, then we state a conclusion in regards to that hypothesis. So it's a formalized procedure to learning about a population parameter. And in this video, we're going to outline the steps sort of as an intro. And in the subsequent videos, we will dive deeper into those steps. Let's look at the steps for a hypothesis test in general. The first step is to create the hypotheses. Now, I wrote plural here because there's actually two hypotheses. There's what's called a null hypothesis and an alternative, and we will dive into those in the next video. The next step after establishing the hypothesis would be to collect data. We're not going to do data collection in our class, but we would need to perform some sort of computation to assess the strength of that data in support of those hypotheses. So this is a computation step, and I'm going to say we'll calculate the test statistic. The step after that is to determine the probability associated with that test statistic, called a p-value. P is short for probability. Lastly, then after we have done some analysis with our data, we can state a conclusion about the hypothesis based on our analysis. So state a conclusion about the hypothesis. So in the next few videos, we're going to dive deep into each of these steps. See you there.